welcome back to my channel. I'm Zaf. 2 weeks ago, I made a video talking about TikTok live streamers that were scamming their viewers. One of those guys was macenclay. You know, this guy. If you don't know much about him, he hates galaxy gifts, he loves money guns, and he can't build a tower of cards to save his life. Somehow, he was open to the idea of coming on for a 30-minute chat just to talk about his type of content, what he's doing, why he's doing it, and what he thinks about it. I didn't know that TikTokers had that kind of attention span. Enjoyed this candid chat where it's a bit of a tell-all. Actually, it's more of a tell-some, but we get to find out some things about TikTok streamers that maybe you didn't know. But before we go into it, like the video. See you on the other side. Do you want to just give yourself like a bit of an intro, like how you like to introduce yourself?
Well, yeah, my name is JacksonMaddn. I'm known as macenclay. I'm known as a lot of names, I guess, but yeah, my actual name is JacksonMaddn, but I own the account macenclay.
All right. So how'd you get started on TikTok? Was this like macenclay thing your first thing on TikTok, or have you tried like other like pseudonyms and stuff?
Yeah, well, basically, I've had a lot of accounts. I've had probably over like 8 accounts with thousands and thousands of followers. And it really just started from when I was younger, when I just love social media. Stuff like making Instagram accounts and just stuff. I just fell in love with the sense of being viral. And I've always just, as a kid, you know, everyone maybe wants to be a YouTuber or whatever. And I don't know, I just fell in love with that thing. And I created TikTok and I started getting viral on some other accounts. And macenclay was just one of those accounts that happened after a while. I mean, I had already had some viral accounts and some success, but then after a while, macenclay just took off. But I have had accounts before that had like a couple 100,000 followers.
So how long did it take for macenclay to get like to 1 million followers?
So, like I said, I did have my name kind of out there with a couple accounts with 300,000 followers and an account that I shared that had 1 million followers.
Oh, right.
But then when I started this, I wanted to just be my account. I wanted to start fresh. And I'd say it took, I want to say about 3 months, 2 to 3 months to get 1 million followers, maybe less.
That's
it was pretty
quick.
fast.
Yeah, that's really quick. Man, that's impressive. Did you have creators that inspired you to be on TikTok, or was it kind of just you thought it was like a natural progression going from Instagram to TikTok?
That's a good question. I mean, I wouldn't say so. It's just a lot. I've always been on stuff like TikTok and Instagram. I've always been just consuming a lot of content of it, and I could say I kind of just like understood stuff a bit more than maybe the most average person would about our algorithm. I'm a very analytical person. I look at everything very like numbers based.
Yeah,
and
I noticed that.
There was a couple creators that I did see, stuff like Justin Ryan, Hot Sammy. These are smaller creators that did sort of rage stuff and did lives, and they kind of introduced me to that live aspect. And then there was a couple trends that I hopped on that just got me viral and kind of sent me to that niche that I ended up going with.
So what was like the trend that you know that kind of set you off? Is there any particular one, or is it kind of a combination?
So before I went viral on any of my accounts, one of the trends was I had a beanie on. I don't know if you know it, but there was a trend where like this old guy said he'd kiss me. This old guy offered to kiss me if I.
Oh, yeah.
There was some like
I remember that one. Yeah.
And then in my live, I'd have a beanie, and I'd have like I just started getting hundreds of viewers, and I'm like, damn, this is kind of weird. Like I'm talking to like hundreds of people, and that kind of just kicked me off, and then I just kind of moved around from there.
So
wanted to take the opportunity.
How many people, like, what's the maximum number of views you had at once that you can remember at least?
So I've had a couple big live streams.
Yeah.
My highest is 26.4 thousand viewers concurrent.
Damn,
which is
that's crazy. Those are like Ludwig numbers, you know? Like,
yeah.
So do you see that number fluctuate quite a bit, or does it kind of hold stable?
100%. The thing with TikTok, it's not a very stable community.
Yeah.
You can't really create a very strong community, especially with the content that I'm doing. It's not very focused, self-centered on me. It's more about my energy and the content I'm putting out, but it's not really based around my personality. So you do see weeks where it'll be at like barely getting 1,000 views, or you'll see weeks where I'm getting average of like 10,000 viewers every live I go.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. I don't know if you've actually watched my video yet on the one I did on you. Did you end up watching it?
I saw sections of it. I got the whole
Yeah,
grasp. Yeah.
yeah. I think I think you've picked it up pretty quickly, and I'm actually I'm impressed by the fact that you were willing to like come on to chat about this. And the moment that you were like, you should have put my name in the title, you should have done this. I was like, yeah, this kid switched on. He knows he's just on there to get his bag, to get the grind. I can understand like you kind of give me like Mr. Beast vibes in terms of the way you think. It seems like you understand the platform and how to get people to at least move over to your lives, because on your macenclay channel, you've got, the whole, he hasn't blinked in 3 days or whatever it is. And that just like makes people go over to your live, which is really interesting strategy. Was that something you came up yourself, or you just saw someone else do it and you're like, I can use this to pull it over?
So basically, with the beanie trend, I obviously noticed that because it was kind of hinting, the video was hinting for people to join my live and they'd see the beanie. I kind
Yeah.
of realized that that would pump up the numbers and I could do stuff with those numbers. And so then I was just looking around, and I like you said, I am very analytical. Everything's a number to me. I don't really look at it as I am macenclay.
Yeah, yeah.
It is I'd like to say my alternate reality.
Yeah.
Like, this is Jackson. Macenclay is a whole different thing, but we still both look at the analytics and we look at the numbers. And I'd see other things like trends that would just say something about live and get people to click on it.
Yeah.
And so the blinking thing, that was something that came up recently. I just thought it was smart. I've seen sort of similar trends, and then I've had a lot of different trends that I'd go through to see what would work. And that's how it works. That's why sometimes some weeks I'll only get 1,000 viewers because maybe my videos aren't doing well, and sometimes I get 10,000 viewers because my videos are doing well. It's all about the videos. I think my stats say that like 70% of my views that are coming are from my videos.
That's pretty impressive, like to have that kind of pull over. I think that's probably what, YouTube's trying to do with like YouTube Shorts. Now, the analytics are a little bit different for YouTube Shorts in terms of like how it counts for views and watch time and whatnot. Now, you said it's like a separate personality, or like at least a separate person, right? macenclay and you. Now, how do you feel about the content that you're making at the moment? Do you feel like you're like, in my video I said that you're farming kind of for views or farming for gifts? What's your feeling towards that?
I mean, like I said, I like to think that we're different people, the macenclay account and this.
Yeah.
I completely understand where people come from and what it is, and it's just I don't really put it. I don't take any personal feelings towards what people say or what people do. I literally just do it for the content, have a bit of fun on it.
Yeah.
And that's literally all I do. So I kind of don't really care what people think. I'm just doing it because I've always wanted to do something, and I don't care if people don't like me. Like I said, I've kind of had to just realize that what I am going to get hate because of this stuff I'm doing, and I fully understand that, and there is reasoning behind that. But I just look past that. I don't really care. To a sense, I think to always like with your video and stuff,
Yeah.
and people critiquing me, I think that stuff is genuinely good content.
Yeah.
And I feel that if you can't have a conversation or call someone out, then I genuinely think that there is something wrong. But if someone can talk about it, I think that is the step in the right direction, even if you don't respect the other person.
I think it's a pretty good mindset to go into it. Like content creation, at least especially on TikTok, it's really fast moving, right? So opinions can fly out really quickly. You can get a smash load of like comments happening, positive, negative. Do you feel like it's affecting your mental health at all in terms of, you said you're getting a bit of hate and you get, like this might like my video as well, right? It's a more negative video than it is positive, right? How do you feel that is affecting you? Are you really good at compartmentalizing that, or do you feel like it's chipping away at you at all?
Well, that's where I feel like the kind of like different personality that I switch into macenclay comes in, because like I don't really feel it.
Yeah.
I don't really care. I don't really like what I think about is, because I'm so analytically motivated and the things I look at is numbers. For macenclay and my personality on that, the hate is what actually makes me succeed. If I didn't have haters, like I say,
Yeah.
if I had no haters, I wouldn't have made it. If everyone liked my content, I wouldn't be doing this. I genuinely couldn't. And so, but to an extent, to answer your
Yeah, yeah,
question,
sorry. Yeah.
it does maybe like sometimes gets me in the tiniest bit. Because it is just weird. Like in the real world, it is a bit weird because I'm going out as JacksonMaddn, and then
Yeah,
people are
yeah.
calling me like macenclay, and it is a bit weird. But apart from that, I don't really. I wouldn't say it does too much.
So I think, at least the way TikTok works, right, it does tend to push out people who are local to you a lot more than like international. Obviously, there's certain stars or they'll get pushed quite a bit. So I'm assuming you're fairly locally known. How much interaction are you getting with viewers outside when you're walking about just as you as Jackson?
Surprisingly, not too much. I get a lot. I get a fair amount going around from like sort of friends or people that maybe knew me before or like very like vaguely. Um, but not actually that much. And like you said, with the location based, that is actually a big thing in TikTok. Obviously, I study the algorithm a lot, but surprisingly, I've reached with my content. It kind of just gets sent to the right audience that content is normally for. And I'm from Australia, and most of that content, like stuff like creators like Speed and stuff,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get put into like that sort of niche and that type of content.
That
And
makes
so most
sense,
of my
yeah.
viewers aren't from Australia, so I don't actually see too much. Where
Ah.
like only like a small percent, like I'm gonna say 7% are from my actual country. So
So where would the
it's a very small
majority
amount.
of your viewers come from?
They come from tons of places. They come from America mainly. There's tons of Philippines, United Kingdom, all the big places that you would see. Because 3.6 million followers. If they're all Australia, every
Yeah.
second person I'm going up to the store with, they're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
be like,
crazy, yeah.
"You're that guy."
Yeah, yeah. We don't have that many people here in Australia, you know, especially that many people on TikTok, I would say, with the macenclay brand, how did you come up with that? Was that just random number, like name generator type of thing, or what?
100%. So again, I look at everything analytically.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand having like a dot in my name. I couldn't stand having a one in my name or any like numbers. I just think a short, simple name.
Yeah.
I thought my name JacksonMaddn was too long.
Yeah, yeah, no,
I already had my actual name, and at that time I wasn't sure if I wanted to put my name out there fully, and so I just came up with the random name macenclay. I thought it was short, simple. Made the account 0 followers, just because it was kind of a backup until I actually started it. But yeah, that's just kind of how I rolled with my TikTok accounts, just random names.
I think that's kind of interesting. It's kind of like this is such a boomer reference, I guess, for me, but it's like a Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus kind of mentality, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think you can like keep on doing this rage type of content like sustainably? Because I've watched your stream for quite a bit, right? And it sounds like your voice gets like fairly strained after a certain amount of time. Now I have two theories, and I don't know if you want to answer one of this or not, but I have a theory that maybe you pre-record some of this and you've replayed it through TikTok Live. And the other part of me is like, maybe you're just doing like an hour a day or, whenever you go live. So how much do you go live and do you feel like it's sustainable?
I'm gonna say silent to that.
Yeah, okay.
I'd rather not. No. But I back in the day, I used to do. This is what I'm gonna say. I used to do like 3 hour lives, doing
That's
this other
long.
sort of trend. I used to do this jet trend, saying a word 100,000 times or whatever.
Oh,
And I used to
yeah,
do
yeah. I remember that trend. Yeah, yeah.
very long lives of that. And so after, literally all I do is I have a busy schedule outside of TikTok. So when I'd do 3 hours and then I'd get off, and as soon as I'd be off live, I'd just like pass out and lie down. And I couldn't say anything. My voice would be absolutely drained,
Yeah.
and then I'd just have to go on ever. And it's fully, if you look at my voice like 6 months ago, it's got so much more like
Horse.
tough. I used to
Yeah.
make more music and stuff, and had like a better voice, but now it's more like deeper, and it's just not just puberty. It's just like genuinely, it was really like every day I'd wake up, it just like hurt and stuff. But I started doing lives a bit less, doing like maybe like 1 hour, I want to say, a day.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So are you full-time content creating now, or are you doing work on the side to like subsidize that, or what?
I'm doing other stuff on the side, but my main like mind and everything goes into TikTok
Yeah.
24/7 a day. Even if I'm not posting, I'm not going live. My mind's always on it.
You're
My
just
mind's
thinking
always
about the
thinking
next
about it.
piece of content, what you can put out. Yeah.
100%.
Um,
100%.
how quickly on TikTok did you start making money?
So I started like with the beanie content, and I was just doing that for fun.
Yeah.
And I reckon I did that for about 2 weeks, and I'd get 700 viewers, and I got a couple 100,000. No, I got like 20,000 followers or something.
Yeah.
And some guy messaging me saying you can do these trends and you can make money.
Yeah.
And so I want to say 2 weeks in, I started making money, and it was not just money, it was good money.
Good money.
And then that's where I kind of took a turn to just fully grind this, get the most amount of viewers, just absolutely kind of take over the game of TikTok as I see it.
Yeah, yeah. So do you have like any ambition to become like Australia's biggest TikToker, or in any particular region or anything like that?
So there's this thing called TikTok rankings. That's the people that have made the most money or diamonds in a week. And I've got that 3 times in a row once, and I beat the record at one point for the most amount of money made in a week. But then it's kept upscaling the how it goes, how much they make a week. So it's really hard to get. But I don't for big ambitions, not really. I'm just kind of doing my own thing, trying to have as much fun in my eyes and just try and be as big as I can. But there's no end goal to this. It's just have as much fun while we can.
So is there any current creators on TikTok or off TikTok that are inspiring you in general, just like on the whole content grind and everything?
There's another guy that I have similar lives to, I'd say, like similar style, that I think is really good. He gets 20,000 views every time he goes live. His name is Jonathan Roem. He is an emo. He's a vegan. He's a fairy. I don't know. I think it's cool. Otherwise, there is a lot of creators that I genuinely like their content, but in my niche, that's the person that I kind of, because with our community, there is a community of people that do similar sort of stuff, and what is cool to me is I've created great bonds with a lot of them. Some of them I could say they are my best mates, and I don't know, we all just kind of push each other to get the most followers or the most views. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense. You kind of need a similar mindset of people around you to keep you on track. Do you want to say how much you make per day?
Put it this way, I'm not going to give the exact figures.
No.
But it is thousands of dollars a week.
Thousands of dollars a week. That's pretty crazy, man.
It's a lot more than anyone could imagine.
Okay. I talked about this in my video, so there's a chance you probably didn't see it because it was in the middle boring section that I made. And it was talking about like the payout structure for TikTok creators. Now, I'm hoping that you can give me a bit of clarification on this, right? Because it's a bit confusing. But to me, it looks like the creator gets like less than 50% of what the viewer is actually purchasing, right? So they get real money, they turn it into these gifts, and the gifts are sent to the creator, and but the creator only gets like 50% of that value, right, that they initially put into the gift. And then you have to convert it to diamonds. Is there a cost to that conversion to like make it into a diamond? So
basically, it's a confusing process. This is my biggest hate on TikTok, the app. There's a couple of my hates, but this is one of the biggest. So as you know, they're gifting us. What is a gift? It is something you're giving in return. Like you're just giving it for no reason. There's no thing back and forth. You're just giving it.
It's not like a subscription or anything.
Yes, it's not. And TikTok is taking actually 70 to 80% of the money they are. It is 70 to 80%. So if you think I'm making a lot, think of how much other people are putting in, and TikTok is just taking, which is so annoying. They also have a feature that the money we get, we can turn back into the diamonds for cheaper, and then they're just taking an extra 80% on that. And when people start gifting each other, which can happen on the TikTok rankings to get top 1, it's basically just people putting in their life savings
and then draining it,
and it ending up just all to TikTok for like a bit of fame.
I thought that was the case because like at first it seems like it's like a 50-50 split, right? And in comparison to say Twitch, it's kind of similar to what Twitch does. But then, like you said it's like a gifting structure. So on Twitch, I'm pretty sure gifted things and donations effectively are 100%, except for transaction fee goes to the creator. And on YouTube, same thing, right? But it just, 70% is what I thought it came up to, or 75%, because you've got the initial conversion over from viewer to creator, and then you've got the currency conversion from, gift to diamond, and then diamond to dollars, right?
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
It's tough. It's tough, but TikTok is making a lot of money off us, and fair enough to them. Not if you actually do the research, it's like what you're saying. You're not perfectly right with how you explain it. It's more people gift us. So there's a thing with like diamonds and coins, but they're the same thing. Basically, people pay money for diamonds or coins, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
They send it to us, and those diamonds convert into just real money, but they just take away 80%. Like if someone sends you, let's say it costs $100. This is not true. $100 for 1,000 coins. Let's say.
Yeah.
Then we get $20, and it doesn't say how much. Like that's what we get. We just get $20. It doesn't say how much we got. We just got $20 if they spent $100.
That's
and
crazy.
So it's 80% if you're buying. But sometimes other countries you can buy a tiny bit cheaper. That's why I kind of say 70 to 80. That's the consensus. But the problem is you look up on the internet and stuff. There's no one talking about it. You can't actually tell this. So you might be thinking you're gifting your favorite creator all this money, but in fact TikTok is just taking 80%, which is crazy. I understand 50% or bit less, even though it is a gifting thing. It is their platform that we are using, and it is the features that we are using. But at 80% is a crazy thing that not much people are talking about, and not much of the viewers may know that.
Yeah, my only like kind of theory towards like why that cost would be so high is they're using live stream funds to pay out people for video views as well. So they're using that as like a cross currency type of thing. Does it in your creator dashboard or wherever it's called break down like you've got this much money from video views and live stream views and gifts and all that kind of stuff, or is it not quite that detailed?
No, we just have money currency from lives, but because in Australia we don't have the creator fund, which means we can't get money off the views on our videos. That is a US only feature, which is annoying. But if I did the maths, I would have about, from all the money I've made from live and all the money I could have made from creator fund, it would be less than 0.0001% of what I've made from live.
So the live is like
barely
way
anything.
higher. Yeah.
You get 1 million views and you get about like $10, if that.
Oh wow, that's
barely.
Wow, that's crazy. What do you think are like the key areas that TikTok can improve on from a creator perspective?
I think TikTok does a good job with a lot of things. The way that anyone can go viral, like a person like random like me, I think their For You page and their algorithm is absolutely insane. The length to understand that is just surprised me, but I somehow kind of even have a grasp of it. I think that's good, but they definitely do have some problems. Like there's a lot of there's not much clarity around subjects. There's no way to contact them. Like I said, there is emails that thousands of creators try and email their support system, and they delete their emails every like month. They just change a different email.
Oh, okay.
And your email maybe takes 30 days to get a response, and that response is going to be an auto one that you're not going to get a human from. It's really hard to reach them, and there isn't much there isn't much just talk between creators and TikTok itself, unless you're like one of their loved creators, and it's a very biased thing.
System. That's seems kind of like what Twitch's model kind of is like as well, whereas you get to a certain stage on YouTube and you get like a YouTube handler almost, but it's probably not the best system to have if you have a bunch of creators. I think probably one of the issues as well is all of their tech support is based in China, as far as I know, and there's like a language barrier as well. I was watching a different TikTok creator who does like finance stuff, and then his account basically got like shadow banned because they like stopped finance content, and then he actually had to fly to China and talk to them directly to like
Damn.
change like the blocked words and everything. And the only reason he could is because he's like, I think he's half Chinese, so he can speak Chinese directly to them and not have anything lost in translation. You noted before that like you can tell that your voice is getting a bit more hoarse and strained and whatever, and you used to sing and all that or make music. Is there something you want to pivot off from TikTok? Like, is there any other platform that you're trying to focus on building at the moment, or is it kind of just trying to grow TikTok mainly? Like, what's the angle that you're gonna push for?
Well, mainly how I see it right now, as I've got such, in my opinion, a good knowledge and grasp of TikTok itself and how it goes viral, I'm mainly focusing on that. I kind of put everything aside. And then after this, obviously it will end at some point. That's why I'm mainly just like head down, just straight full steam ahead at TikTok, because as it's just doing so well for me, I don't see any reason to look at anything else. But then, of course, after I'm not sure what I want to pivot onto. I'm definitely into this content creation. But as I said, my name isn't going to be known. It is going to be hard. So I am going to have to start on the ground up for things like YouTube or Spotify. But yeah, I don't really have too much big plans. I'm mainly just going to be focusing on TikTok and just making sure I can live on it as long as I can.
But you don't think it would be better to like start early in terms of making those other income streams and those other like platforms for your viewers, so they get to know you as both macenclay and Jackson, and then that way it'll be easier to push them over now rather than like waiting for the downfall of TikTok, or when the next platform comes?
I do believe that would be smart, but I have tried and done things like that. It is very hard to convert TikTok over to other platforms. TikTok is a very fast app. Attention span is very low on that. And for someone like me that doesn't have a full fan base of me, they have a fan base of my content. They don't really want to see my personality plastered on other things. And so I'm more going to worry about that in the future, because I do believe the way that I look at things, I can make my own way. And then again, taking people that enjoy my content onto other platforms where it might not be the same isn't always a good thing.
Yeah.
So
It's a good point.
it's not something I'm too worried about now. Plus, I don't even know if I'll be into content creation in the next year or two.
Yeah, fair enough.
Years.
All right, thought I'd have a few other quick questions, just quick fire questions, and then we can close it off so I don't take up too much of your time.
Sure.
Do you have a favorite creator at the moment? Just like full stop favorite creator?
Grow with Champion is back. He's my mate. He's just a legend.
All right, Grow with Champion. Is there a trend that you hate at the moment?
That is a hard one. I'm gonna have to think about that. Is there a trend I hate at the moment? Nah, there's not one that I can think off the top of my head, actually. Couldn't say there's many trends I hate. The trends that I do, I probably hate them. I think they're stupid if I see anyone else doing them, but...
Yeah. So do you not like the content that you make? Isn't the rage content? Do you not engage with it much? It's more like you like the viewers and stuff that it gets you, but you don't like it.
I don't like the videos I make. I think the live stream, doing the live stream, I think that's more... not something that I'd watch, but I enjoy making that. I think it's a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Because people, it's more connection. It's just a bit of fun, bro. It's a bit of rage,
Yeah.
I don't know. I like that content a bit more, even though it's a lot more out there, outlandish, and just, I don't know. It's a bit crazy and weird, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it does kind of push that limit of like
100%.
what people get tilted at versus engaging organically. All right, so is there a trend that you love at the moment?
You know what I really loved on TikTok? There was this AS trend. It went like the square brackets, and then there was an AS. You can look up it. It was a really cool trend. I thought that was cool. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just love that trend.
Okay, yeah. Is there anyone who you think is overrated on the platform?
Nah, you're gonna get me in some controversy.
Come on, man. You just gotta give me something here.
Oh, this one's tough. Who can I say?
Even some of the top ones.
I've definitely got a couple of names. I just don't know if I can be saying them. I can say some big creators that I won't get in trouble for.
All right, look, who do you think's overrated? That's big.
Charli D'amelio.
Yeah.
Y'all need to settle down. Yeah, she's not all. She did one renegade. That's all it takes. I mean, bro.
That's the algorithm
That's
for
how
you,
I'm gonna say
man.
is overrated. I think
Yeah.
everyone could say she's a bit overrated.
Who do you think's underrated at the moment?
Underrated. Okay, so there was the Jonathan Boehm guy. That's not the underrated guy, but there's another guy called Jakey Boehm.
Yeah.
He does sleeping lives and he's a coder.
I've seen that guy.
He put him in his video. He codes everything, and he's I think he's absolutely genius. He made so he has shock collar on his arm, and if viewers send a gift, it literally shocks him. And he has things where people send gifts and they play literal sounds to wake him up. He goes live for 11 hours a day every single night, or not 11, but like 8 hours a night. In Australia. He doesn't just do it in the morning. He does it and then goes to actual sleep. Like, it is absolutely ridiculous what this man does. I don't know how he does it.
That can't be healthy, man.
It can't. He gets no legit sleep.
Yeah.
And he just does it on live for hours because he's just a dedicated man. I think he's definitely underrated, and he's a great creator.
That's a good use of like your coding skills. It seems like a Michael Reeves kind of like inspiration, you know, combining the tech and interacting with live. All right. That was all my quick questions. So, tell the people where to find you, what you want them to watch you on.
You can follow my new TikTok, JacksonMaddn without an E, Jackson Jackson and then Maddn. Otherwise, you can probably see me on macenclay. Hopefully, when you guys are watching this, I can have my account back. But yeah, that's all.
Sweet. Thank you for coming on, man. Thank you for like being so open about everything.
Yeah, appreciate it.
That was the chat. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I thought I'd just give you some of my thoughts after having a chat with him, and to see, if I still agree with what I said in my first video. Overall, yeah, I do think I still agree with what I said in terms of, these TikTok these TikTok streamers are scamming their viewers. He is a smart kid, you can tell. He looks at the analytics. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to what will get people's attention and what will pull them over into his stream from just normal videos on TikTok. Do I think his content is still cringy? Yes, definitely. Am I cringy? Also, yes, definitely. The other thing I didn't really mention this in the last video or, during our chats. But to me, this type of content does still feel like gambling on a budget or, pseudo gambling. It's not as bad as what Trainwrecks is doing on Twitch, but it is a way for people to basically gamble whether this tower is going to fall or not. And I think it's just another thing that feeds into the TikTok algorithm, which we don't really need. Hopefully, he graduates to more meaningful, better content that can still be viral. And he just doesn't become, the enemy that he hates and becomes Charli D'amelio. What do you guys think? Put in the comments if this 30-minute chat changed your mind on anything. I think I still agree with what I said in terms of we just don't really need this type of content. But like he said himself, if you don't like that type of content, you can just put on TikTok that you don't want to see it. And that's definitely the best way to interact with it, is just to not see it at all. The kid's nice enough and he's quite open to just talking about content, and he doesn't really have an emotional tie to that type of content. So I don't really feel too bad about, roasting him a little bit, even though they're pretty mild roasts. The main problem I see with the type of content where you just care about getting the views and not really caring about the character that you put on, is it can be a bit of a slippery slope. But I don't know, if the bag's big enough, I probably would have done the same shit too. So, who am I to judge? Thanks for watching the video, or as much of it as you did. Like and subscribe and all that shit, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.